things almost make sense, and most everything is interesting and mildly unique. It's a place that feels somewhat familiar and has the suspicious comfort of a loving semi-omnipresence. You are on the outskirts of Loutopia. Sit back and relax, or tense up and march around. Please welcome your host of Loutopia.
Loutopia. Loutopia.com, the home of the pacifist riot. Well, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, hello, middle of the night, whatever time you're listening to the Loutopia podcast. I'm Lou Angel Wolf, and we're bringing it. We've been away for a couple of weeks, much to our chagrin, but personal travel plans and obligations have left us away from the microphones, but we have found our way back. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Loutopia podcast. We try to come to you weekly on Loutopia.com, Podomatic, YouTube, Facebook. We try to get with you every week. I am, and we're live now on the YouTube. And there we are. Look at that right there. And we're also live this week, special simulcast on the IRN Broadcast Network. That's Internet Radio Network. That's IRN Broadcast. Our buddy Mike Peter and crew over there bringing it all, spreading the joy of Loutopia. We're here every week, and my co-host and damn good buddy, Michael Merberg, right there.
Good to be back. Thanks, Lou.
Man, you've been you're looking good, kid. Your health has been restored.
Yes, thank you. I want to thank you for bringing soup to a very ill human being. You're like Soup Angel Wolf.
Soup Angel Wolf. That was my slapstick name, Soupy Angel Wolf. But anyway, and over there, it's the director, producer, the CEO of Double Special Studios, Chris Gorges.
Board Ninja.
The Board Ninja?
Yeah, Board Ninja.
Oh, okay. Oh, B-O-A-R-D.
Yeah.
B-O-R-E-D.
Yeah, well, that too.
What would a board ninja do?
I'm a Board Ninja. I ain't kicking shit today, man.
Nothing to do.
Yeah, screw them boards.
I ain't spinning around. I'm not even going to take my sword out. So anyway.
I'm not even going to touch that statement.
I'd leave it right there.
Touch my sword.
That's
You were away too this past week. You were in Dallas.
Yes. I was in Dallas last week with the lovely and talented Pamela. She just bought a United Real Estate franchise, and they had the welcome aboard for all the new franchisees. Cool. And they treated us very nicely there in Dallas, and I believe we are part of a really, really good company. We met all the top brass, and they're good guys. Really, they're real personable fellas. And Dan Duffy, who I got to meet. Mm-hmm. In fact, Dan was featured on one of those undercover boss shows, and he was fabulous. And he was just as cool as he was on the show. Meeting him in person, great guy. Peter Freiss, I believe his name. Maybe I'm saying his name wrong. Met him too, and then just the whole Dallas staff and everybody is they're just a wonderful group of people, and running a very successful real estate company.
Cool.
And so there was that. I was away for that, and then
I met Helen.
You met Helen?
Yep, at the VFW hall. She came to the show. Helen.
How's Helen?
Nice. Helen was a very fine person.
Oh.
She's a very saucy lady.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And she's known for that?
Well, you know what? I think she was, but I don't think her family ever confronted her about it. And then she got sassy with me, and I sassed her back. And I thought there was going to be a riot at the table. It was awesome.
Really?
Well, I mean, I don't think she was the matriarch. Like, she was the lady of the 3 tables, you know. And when she pointed her finger at me, I think I was supposed to go, sorry, Nana. You know what I mean? But I didn't do that. I was like, listen, lady.
Hey.
I'm not in your family. I can do what I want. Yeah, and that family loved it.
I'm screwing this cat. You just hold the tail.
And then Helen had respect for me, and we did shots of whiskey. No, we didn't.
Well, you love a saucy Helen every once in a while.
And that's the best.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Loutopia podcast usually features in the second half the beautiful, lovely, talented, perceptive, intuitive Beth Snyder. She consequently is, I don't believe she's ever been busier with her hypnotherapy practice. She had some clients that needed her more than we did, but I can't even imagine what level that is. It's got to be painstakingly high. So we'll surrender Beth, and hopefully she'll be back for the November 7th show. And fellas, what do you want to do about the Halloween thing? Next Tuesday is Halloween.
You got a call. You want to try and take that?
Yeah, it looks like a Vegas number.
All right.
Welcome to the Loutopia podcast. Hey.
Boy, do I need to say.
Hello?
Hello.
Am I live?
You're live. Come on.
How do you feel about a fossil whale?
Oh,
it's our
86 these two loads, will you?
Sorry.
Jeez.
back under the rock.
Damn. I mean, can you possibly have less to do with your life than wait for this to come back around? Holy smokes, man. We've been gone for 2 weeks, and these guys, they're sitting on their thumbs going, when's the fat guy going to come back?
We do have IRM broadcaster listening, so people are listening on that, so I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
They'll give up after a few minutes. Anyway.
But my son,
Yeah.
who is the internet little guru, he's 18. He knows, he goes, pay them no attention because that's all they want.
Of course.
And so there you go. Look at him. I dial number again.
And that's what you do with children generally.
Yeah. Just ignore them till they fall
away.
asleep.
Or catch on fire.
Ignore them until they go to
Or
college.
drink something. Drink something toxic. But
What's tonight's topic?
today's topic, and I was kind of waiting to hope for Beth, but I guess we can do a redo when she comes back around, is intuition. I have been studying a little bit the heart-mind-stomach connection, and which spurred the idea of go with your gut feeling, okay? And it's absolutely amazing how intelligent your stomach is. Your stomach has the same type of tissue that your brain has. Well, you know all this, right, Mike?
No.
Okay. But you agree like so professionally. No wonder you're an attorney. But anyway, there's similar tissue in your brain that in your stomach that because, well, if you've ever been like tremendously upset or a lot of stress, your stomach and your mind are the same, and then your heart is like the thing that tries to regulate the both of them. You know, the mind tries to calm the heart tries to, regulate its flow, and then the stomach is down there going, no, I'm upset too. You can't just discard me.
Well, the human body is a wonderfully and beautifully integrated piece of work, and we're connected with ourselves and with everybody else and the rest of the planet, the rest of the universe. There is no separation. It's just an illusion.
Yes.
So, when your gut is telling you something, your gut is telling you something. Time to listen.
Yes. And that's the thing, too, is I've noticed a couple times in my life, well, it's actually several now that I've thought about it for a while, how many times I did not follow my gut instinct, that I knew there was something awry, couldn't necessarily see it or identify it, and went along with the program anyway, only to find out that my gut instinct was initially correct, and it caused me grief. It cost me money. It broke my heart. Those kind of things. But as I get older now and care less and less what other people think.
Why should you care at all?
Well, I do care a little because, I care for people. I want a job where I can work with people. But I do notice that if it's up, if my stomach reacts to it quickly, if my gut reaction to something is strong and quick, I follow it these days. It has served me well. And there's times where you go, well, maybe that isn't the most prudent thing to do as you're trying to, doing your Insta reasoning session.
Yeah, there are mothers everywhere just now went, no, don't do that. Think. Take your time. Think it over.
Well, if you got to think your way through it, you're going to have a problem.
Yeah?
Yeah, because you can think too much.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, in the West, we put too much emphasis on intellect and not enough emphasis on heart, which goes along with the gut reaction.
Sure.
So, you know, and the head has a tendency to run you astray.
You know, you're right.
Yep.
And
I think marrying that girl would be a good idea.
IRN says ignore gut feelings equals ex-wives.
There you go.
there's a man that knows. And that's the kind of experience I was talking about. Like, you enter into a relationship that, you know, you can see the flaws, you can smell the distant fires, but yet you trudge into the camp like, you know better. And
Because you need fire.
you do need fire, or maybe some meat hanging from a branch somewhere.
Some soup.
Some soup.
Soup.
Soupy Angel Wolf bringing it to you. And then, you know, as you find out, you go, well, this camp isn't what I like exactly, but it's okay. And I could do something with this side of the camp. And then, you know.
Then you say, there's too many bugs. Time to leave. The bugs are getting me.
Bugs. Yeah, what is that? I do a bit about that in my act. Those no-see-ums, those little tiny things, and they bite. They're like hate with wings. They're just the most miserable little creatures. I wonder what purpose they serve.
I don't know, but you can get bit by a rattlesnake and it will leave a smaller mark than a no-see-um.
I don't know, dude. Those things hurt, but those horseflies, those things are brutal, man. Have you ever been bitten by a horsefly?
Sure. They carried me off once.
But you deserve, if you get bit by a horsefly, you deserve to get bitten by a horsefly.
How was that? I was on a trail walking. How did I deserve that?
Well, most of the time they're so large you can't miss them.
Yeah.
Dude, this came in like kamikaze horsefly. You know what I mean? Like it was a drive-by biting. Before I knew what happened, he was like chomp. I'm like, what the shit?
He said, "The hell with that guy,
dude." I'm telling you,
he's going down.
And you could like feel teeth going in. That's how.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They you know, I'm exaggerating, obviously, but yeah, it's a really nasty bite.
It's a painful bite. You're exactly right. I know them well, having you know, being up in wherever the hell I was.
Having horses.
Near horses. Wisconsin, Michigan, upstate New York, Pennsylvania, somewhere where horses dwell. The dwelling. But yes, so what I would like to communicate with people is, you know, I have the privilege / honor / burden of becoming a lot of people's confidant. People pull me aside and go, "Hey man, can I talk to you about something?"
Pastor Lou.
Yeah, I do have a little bit of a pastoral thing happening.
I've only done that once with you my whole life,
and it worked out, didn't it? It was good sound advice. It was good sound advice, my friend. but we can talk about that.
His head saying one thing, his gut saying another.
Yeah, my gut tells me. But and I notice a lot of people they tell me about scenarios that they're in, mostly, you know, romantic inclinations or business positions, and I noticed that one of the things they did not do was they did not define themselves clearly, and they left too many things unsaid, which all that stuff happens in your gut. Like you're negotiating a situation and you get nervous and you don't say what's on your mind.
It's the conversation that you have in your head while you're next to the person not saying anything.
Right.
It just continues to go, and you're like, well.
Yeah, and then the conversation goes awry, or it just goes by, and then later all those things that you were negotiating or thinking about, because you didn't voice your opinion, what you feared circles back around.
Right, because you negate or ignore the ultimate truth of the situation, and by doing so, you send yourself off your path.
That's exactly right. So when you send yourself off your path, excuse me, I'm having a coconut.
You can always get back, but there's part of the journey that you miss that you have caused yourself unnecessarily suffering for.
Yeah.
So that's why staying on the path and staying true is so important, because it reduces your suffering.
That's true. And the path is often referred to in a lot of different ways. And I think if I ever had a omniscient point of view of my path. It would look like Jeffy on Family Circus. Remember when he would just run all over the neighborhood, up at the tree, climb the fence, across the car, all that stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much my path.
Well, the path is with you every single step of the way.
Yes.
And as long as you're you're aware of it, and then take the steps in the proper direction.
Yes. I agree. And consequently, though, I do know some guys that don't overthink things. They just kind of accept it for what it is, and they just kind of move right into it. And they don't have that moment-by-moment analysis. They kind of they'll take a whole day at like wholesale value, to where I tend to, I don't know if I'm actually overthinking or, just trying to be introspective and impress myself. I don't know. But I do analyze situations, and I become more and more sensitive to people's vibrations as I meet them. And I really find a lot of comfort in relating to it, acting on it, and then watching it turn out better than I had hoped. But I took that hunch. I go, well, this person, I'm talking to this person, and they're kind, and I can tell their vibration is good, and I trust in their effort. I trust in the way they conduct their life. And
is that how you left our conversation?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, God. I don't know,
Chris. Yeah, Chris, you're a sharp guy.
No, not really.
Well, I mean, you got your dull moments.
Helen thinks I'm sharp, but
well, yeah.
I impressed Helen.
That's what life is about. So after you just derailed me a little bit.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, that's okay. So when you find yourself acting from your gut instinct or your initial feeling, and it turns out to be good, and then you look back on it and you go, wow, I had that feeling all along, and it makes you feel like you successfully negotiated something, that you successfully navigated some seas ahead of you, and those are good feelings when you go, I've done something similar, and it was quite a struggle, but this time, because I trusted my gut feelings, it went a lot smoother.
Right, you went with the flow.
The flow.
Yeah, sort of like, it's kind of like getting something on sale.
Yeah.
You say you get a good deal, and you come in like, I got a good deal. I feel pretty good about that. It could have cost me a lot more, but it didn't.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's
true.
I know.
You get in a late. It's almost like you feel like all right. This time that's a win for me.
The ultimate karmic equation.
Yes.
You don't pay more
For
than
a
you have
blouse.
to.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you, as much business as I've done over the years, and it mostly is buying and selling stuff, I got to tell you, the money's on the buy, not on the sell. The cheaper you can buy it, I mean, you can let them, the market's going to dictate itself on the other end. Every once in a while you catch a fish. But for the most part, the money's on the buy. You got whatever you're stocking or whatever you're buying, you got to buy it right. And, and then learn your marketing skills. And then, it goes on from there.
And you always got to learn when to walk away.
Boy, that is yeah, exactly. Just leaving the opportunity, and then for instance, okay, on this very very same topic of your gut feeling, and I bought that Dodge Hemi Magnum wagon,
Right,
which has turned out to be a fantastic
sweet car,
really nice car, great cruiser, and my son always wants to borrow it from me, And I let him. We were driving home the other night, and he was driving, and he's getting on it. It's got a Hemi in it. They're kind of fun. And I go, hey, easy on my gas. And he goes, Dad, I don't get to drive a Hemi too often. I go, I get it. Go ahead, hit the gas. So, but when I bought that car, I says, there's a couple little things in my gut. I go, this could be bad. This could be, I was a little trepidatious because there was a couple issues, but actually it turned out that none of it was as bad as I thought. But I did wind up with a little more in the car than I thought. So some of the repairs were a little more extensive. But that, and what I'm trying to say, ladies and gentlemen, is you have a reaction to everything. I mean, that's why I'm a happier person, because I don't watch the daily news. I can't start my day. Our local station around here, the show's broadcast out of Clearwater, Florida. We have Bay News 9.
Right, yeah. First thing in the morning, it's let's show you something that's really going to upset you, and then we'll go to the national news, and then you can get really, really upset.
You get set on a national level.
Yeah, and then buy some Xanax and Prozac.
Yes, yeah. And the local news basically here it is. Here's what the poor people did last night while you were sleeping. It's like all this, inner city crime. The less privileged.
Right.
And
that's amazing you say that, because news for the rich really does happen during the daytime.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Well, you know what they say in AA? Nothing good ever happens after midnight.
Yeah, my father used to say, for every hour of sleep you get before midnight, it's worth 2 afterwards. Good advice.
It is good advice.
Yep.
I never heard that before.
Yeah, works.
I love sleep.
Yeah.
Love it. And that was actually the thing that kind of turned me around, that made me feel better, was I made it a point to get at least 8, 9, 10 hours sleep during those days that I was ailing. I was feeling bad too. A lot of it was just fatigue. I'm a little overworked these last few weeks. For those of you who know, I don't know, I sell hurricane windows and doors during the day for a company called Armor Tech here in Clearwater. Nice group of guys, good to work for, good work ethic over there. And, of course, a few weeks ago, we had the Hurricane Irma roll through, and still there are many branches laying asunder. And but, a lot of people rode through the hurricane with the windows and doors that they have. And now that, it's calm now and everything's okay, I think we're about out of hurricane season. Now people are going, I really don't want that to happen again. So the phone has just been ringing off the hook at the shop, and I've been working 60 hours a week for several weeks. And, they're real full days. I mean, they're in the car, they're schlepping product, they're pitching, selling, writing, moving, thinking. It's a full-time job. And then I've also had some gigs, and then I had the little trip out to Dallas with my lovely Pamela. So, I mean, I'm
Overworked.
A little overworked, a little fatigued, but I'm just starting to come back out of it. And you know what? One thing that helped me a lot? For some particular reason, while I wasn't feeling well, I wasn't taking my vitamins. I didn't want to take them. I was like, ugh. I just looked at them, because I take them first thing in the morning, and sometimes I eat, sometimes I don't, and they can mess up your tummy if you take them all, whatever. And but as I got like 3 or 4 days of vitamins in me, it really it picked up the tempo about 20%. Mm-hmm. And now I'm feeling almost kind of normal. And another thing I added to my vitamin repertoire is curcumin. The what's the orangey stuff? What's it? What's the
Pumpkin.
Not pumpkin.
Squash.
No.
Turmeric.
Yeah, turmeric. Yeah.
Oh, good, because I was going to say Cheetos next.
Yeah, that's the other end of the spectrum. That's a different orange. Turmeric. Yeah, and the curcumin. That stuff is an amazing cleanser. It cleans your blood. And people that have a turmeric-rich diet are often very, very healthy.
Yes, and turmeric is an anti-inflammatory as well.
Ah, yes.
So they feel better too.
Yeah. So I take it every day now. I'm back on it. I tell you what, you ever get a pill about 3/4 of the way down, and these are capsules, and apparently the little coating had worked its way loose, but I hadn't swallowed it all the way, and then I coughed up this big orange cloud. I looked like some hack musician.
You're doing the cinnamon challenge? What were you doing?
Yeah, it was that was
the
curcumin, turmeric. So take that; it's good for you.
Mike, we got about 6 minutes left. You going to take a break at the half
Yeah,
hour,
we'll
or do you
take a
want to go
break at
straight
half.
through?
Yeah.
Play a little music. You got a trip too. You were posting all kinds of stuff on Facebook.
Well, that's what we were.
Well, yeah, getting back to it. Yeah, I went out west to do a CE5 with some friends and some new people. And
CE5, for those who don't know.
Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind.
Okay.
Human-initiated encounters with celestial beings, extraterrestrials. Call them what you will. They are nonetheless there.
Yeah.
So, if
And you were
really-
in Joshua Tree National Forest?
Joshua Tree National Park, and it was rather wonderful out there. Landed, got over being sick, barely landed out there. Rented a convertible for 8 days,
Nice.
and then besides teaching and leading a group for a little while, drove all the way through the deserts and Joshua Tree National Park, and then up into the Santa Rosa and mountain range, and put a lot of miles on that Camaro. By the way, the name of the horse with no name, I
Yes.
just call it Camaro from here on out. It's a good name for a horse, and
That is a good name for a
amazing
horse.
car. I usually drive Mustangs, and this is the first time in a GM product, and that car got out of its own way.
Yeah, was it a V8?
Oh yeah, it was a V8.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of funny because I'm pulling into the parking lot. I took the turn a little too narrow, pulling in to get some food at the grocery store, and a guy goes, "What's the matter? You think you're on the road?" And I look at him. I go, "No, this is a rental." And he's like, look at his face. He's like, "Ah, sorry, I'm not rich. It's only mine for a week." But yeah, we can. In the second half, maybe we can go into what happened out there. And
Yeah, we will.
What appeared. And
Yeah, yeah.
it
Oh,
was,
yeah, very nice.
pretty great stuff.
Well, for those of you who are just listening in for the first or second or whatever time, Michael is involved in the CE5. That's Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, which are human-initiated outreaches to alien life forms, outer life forms, other life forms, different vibrations,
Celestial beings.
of whatever propensity.
There are a lot of different kinds.
Yeah, well, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, you look up in the sky and you see billions of stars, and a lot of those stars have a solar system around them.
Well, it's been put to me this way by a couple of astrophysicists. There are as many galaxies out there as there are sands on the face of the Earth.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. So, and it's just teeming with life. And when you consider human life is less than a couple million or a few million years old, and you realize that life has been out there for approximately 14 billion, then you start realizing that there are a bunch of civilizations that have evolved that have a pretty good head start on us.
Oh,
So, we're still coming out of the monkey cage.
oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And the other thing that I got to say, I got caught watching a track of YouTube videos about pollution and the industrial waste, and like China, what they do with car batteries and all that other kind of stuff. I got to say, as a wholesale statement, we are horrible freaking tenants
Right.
of this planet. We are terrible, terrible tenants. We've been given this most beautiful planet. I mean, everything about it is just absolutely gorgeous. But yet, in our, it's your right brain, your right thinking brain.
Your
Yeah.
right is creative side. Your left thinking is
Is your business
your
side.
business side.
Yeah, your left thinking brain. There we go. Your left, they've just created all these, monetary machines, or these, the production of the industry or whatever it is. And boy, they just don't spend a whole lot of, time thinking that how long we need to make this place last. Everything's too much in the moment.
Yeah, well, as a follower of Tao, I realize that we are all subject to reincarnations here until we evolve past it. Now, the question is how long are we going to exist as a species when we keep on coming back and we keep on making our sewer worse and worse and worse?
Yes, yes. Well, folks, we're going to leave on a low note.
Go with your gut.
Think about the possible sewer that we could be living in.
Or the garden.
We
We can make it a garden.
hey, poop makes things grow. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lou Angel Wolf on the air with Mike Merberg, Chris Gorgeous. Beth Snyder's taking a break this week, and we're going to miss her a lot, but we'll be all back on the November 7th show. And we got phone calls coming in. I don't know where.
They may be the same guys. They're all different numbers. If you want to try to take some of them in the second half, we can have a little fun with that.
Sure,
maybe.
we'll take some calls the second half, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Loutopia podcast. Chris is going to play some groovy music, and we're going to go breathe deep and huddle.
bo bwee ba ba. Oh beep beep bitty bitty bo. Oh beep bo bwee ba ba. Bo bwee beep 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 bo. Dwee bo beep bo 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 beep do bo bo do bo 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 bo. Boo doo bo dibbity 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 booyah. Way yo. I never before seen that in my life. Whoa. I never before seen that in my life. Whoa. I never before seen that in my life. Whoa. I never before seen that in my life. Now 2 peas in a pod to me is kind of odd. Homeless man staring at the sky, cursing God, calling him a fraud 'cause his goodness have been robbed. Bringing it back to start with a wink and a nod. Problems 24 and 20 packs of smoke. Clearing out the cabin where he kept the 64. WrestleMania all day long. What could go wrong? Took his sheet to the head, knocking pieces for the song. And I'm picking up the pieces of gray matter on the floor. Try to get my IQ back to 164. And I try as I may, I try as I might. I try arm and slash 'cause I'm cloud strive. If I think that you can, I think that you will. Now take it with a glass of water and 2 pills, and you'll feel better every day. Well, yeah, 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 yeah. I never before seen that in my life. Whoa. I never before seen that in my life. Whoa. I never before seen that in my life. Whoa. I never before seen that in my life. Now just sitting reminiscing about the days of the position. Sexual statues up in the kitchen. CC no care, we drunk off one beer. Laughing so hard that we burst into tears. Now Dizzy was a man, and man it was a man. Now coffee stain turning inside out, that's the plan. I bruised up my knees trying to fight off them bees. Crying if you will, take it down and knock the please. Now 1 lesbian and 5 virgin males. We all getting laid into wish well. I tried really hard, I tried so hard, and I stopped because I felt just short. If I think you can do it, I know we can be it. So why don't we get together and see if it works out for the better or worse. We'll do it to the end, of course. I never before seen that in my life. Whoa. I never before seen that in my life. Whoa. I never before seen that in my life. Whoa. I never before seen that in my life.
In a world where things almost make sense, and most everything is interesting and mildly unique, it's a place that feels somewhat familiar and has the suspicious comfort of a loving semi-omnipresence. You are on the outskirts of Loutopia. Sit back and relax, or tense up and march around. Please welcome your host of Loutopia, Lou Angel Wolf.
Present. I'm here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Loutopia Podcast. This is Lou Angel Wolf, Part 2. It's about health, humor, and well-being. And today's topic, the thread running through, is intuition. When you get that little tuggle in your tummy that tells you what to do, spend a little time thinking about it. Because it's a natural thing. It's a good thing. Well, folks, here we are, second half of Loutopia Podcast. Right over there is Mike Merberg. Michael is the proprietor of disabilityattorney.net. So if you have some disability issues and you can't get them resolved, Michael Merberg at disabilityattorney.net.
Yes, 866-SSI-ATTY.
SSI-ATTY.
There you go.
Very nice. That's good. Pretty clever.
Hey, smarter than the average bear,
Yeah.
better than the average attorney.
That's exactly right. And I've known a lot of attorneys in my life, and you guys are mostly really pretty good guys. I mean, I
Mostly pretty good.
mostly pretty good guys.
How would you feel if somebody described your set that way? You were mostly pretty good.
I've had it that way. Well, I was lumping a lot of people in the same thing,
Well, it's like comedians. They're mostly pretty good guys, too.
Most,
And generally pretty smart.
but what the second half of my statement was, but you are such a cool presence and a cool guy, much different than a lot of attorneys that I met.
Have you ever seen him in the courtroom, Lou?
No,
I'd like to see that.
that'd be great. But you got your ego in check. You're a real down to earth guy, and I think that's probably a lot of your success too. Is you have you're picking up on vibrations at a more natural level.
Yeah, since most of my clients are very disabled, they get intimidated by suits and that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah,
my first duty is to make them feel at ease.
that's good.
And tell them the truth. And if they have no case, to get out of my office. I'm sorry, that was just kidding. But I will tell them they have no case if they don't have one. So,
Well, yeah. Why would you?
why waste time?
I thought by the initial part of that statement that you showed up like in something other than a suit, like like a diver's outfit or something. Relax, I'm just a diver. Nothing to be afraid of here.
Excuse me while I remove my bell.
and and excuse me, and that is and that's an amazing difference, because like some of the other attorney guys that I know, very frivolous, very surface, very money centric, and not that they weren't nice guys, they were funny and gregarious and had great teeth.
Sharp teeth.
They had very nice teeth. And even that football player that was on the Bucks, that Culpepper.
Yes.
Yeah. I saw him with the other guy, Culpepper, and you know what? They were being tenacious.
Okay.
Just like it says in the ad.
Oh,
He
yeah,
just
like,
got off his. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
like tenacious. Yeah, that'll get you a lot of yardage in front of a judge.
Look how tenacious he is.
Brad just got off the second season of Survivor. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah?
Yeah, he did the first season with his wife, and then he did his second season by himself.
Ah.
Crazy, man.
Well, he's an adventuresome fella.
Yeah, football, attorney, survivor.
Yeah, sure.
Got on a
He
reality
does it
show.
all. He does it all.
Like the practice of law isn't enough for you.
Well, I mean, but it's pretty interesting. He's an attorney. You're an attorney. You've both been on reality shows.
Yeah, but I'm a trial lawyer. I've tried over 100 jury trials.
What does Brad do?
Nothing except settle cases.
Well, I don't like the way you looked at me. You do realize I'm not Brad, right? Okay, you look
Yeah,
at me
yeah. There's a big difference between trial attorneys and litigators and other attorneys.
Yeah, I didn't know what Brad did.
Trial attorneys are a different breed.
Yeah, you got to argue. Brad.
No, we don't got to argue. We have to pitch a case in front of a judge and a jury, and we have to prove our case.
Brad sells out.
Argument has anything to do with it. Hey, he went for the money. I mean, that's his choice in life, and I'm not faulting him for it. But my choice was to help the disabled.
There you
And
go.
I've had, my law professors are glad that I did that and sent my talents towards the people who really deserve it.
Yeah.
So, they need to survive. They don't need $100,000 from a car crash so they can pay their chiropractor.
I get it.
It's a racket.
Well, sure it is. The whole thing is. But I admire the heart and the energy that you put into your work, and it's
Thank you, Lou.
Yeah, it's and that's part of your inner peace. That's part of your whole your success.
Taking it to the next level.
Yeah, and it's all next level. It's all like as we walk through this life, and you stop and you make notation of where you are, what you're doing, where you're living, who your friends are. And one of my favorite, I think it's Napoleon Hill, says you become the average of the 7 people that you hang around the most.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to tell you, I have a very impressive 7. The 7 people I hang around, of course, Michael, Chris, Pamela, and Beth, just those few, just amazingly beautiful people, and with great vibrations, and I just, Nancy, Beth's girl, it just amazing, the elevated sweethearts that I know, and I couldn't be happier.
Well, one of my teachers, Nihua Ching, would say that you have surrounded yourself and created a garden of people of truth.
Ah, yes.
Garden of people of truth. We all should do that.
Of people of truth. Yeah, man. That's real good. And to tie that back in with your intuition, or your gut response or that little prompting in your tummy. If you are true to that, especially when meeting people and becoming involved with people on a social level, it doesn't have to be whatever level, a boyfriend, girlfriend, casual, business response, office mate, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what the interaction is, but listen to your gut on those kind of things and adjust. You know, I try to love and openly accept everybody as I encounter them. That doesn't mean I need to dive in and get personally involved in their life. You know, I mean, there's different, to me, there's different levels of helping. You know, I mean,
You'll help move then, is what you're saying.
I help people move still at much too old of an age.
A man with a truck can always find a job.
A man. You know, I've always had a truck for that particular reason. And you know what? If you have a truck, you get stuff.
Yeah.
I've had so many people go, just haul this away. And I do, and it's worth something.
Dude, I got a hot tub waiting on me. I just need a truck. I'm not even kidding.
Truck.
You got a truck?
You can use my truck.
I don't know. Oh, I don't want to drive. Okay. Oh.
Is it far?
No, it's just down off of 19.
You know how to hook it back up?
What? Hook what? The
hot tub.
I got the internet. I don't need to know how to hook it back up.
I think he's telling us he's going to get us out of the studio and put a hot tub in here.
We'll be broadcasting from the garage.
I thought you knew. You don't know? I thought you
don't.
knew.
No, I don't.
I know. I'll figure it out.
But I got.
It's just a pump. You hook it back up.
I got an 18-year-old son with Google.
Yeah. Okay. I'm 52. I have Google too.
You got tools?
Yeah, I got. Of course. Did you see my garage?
You
I got all
do. You
kinds
got
of
an
tools.
awesome set of tools, like Spicoli's dad.
You could use the YouTube.
Yeah, I got the YouTube. Dude, that's all you need now. If anybody, when people say to me, we were on our way to a gig, dude. We drove by, and I was with Jim Choquette, and he just, he's a Renaissance guy. This guy, he has a camp.
I love
out in the
Choquette.
woods. Yeah. The more I talked to him, I was like, wow, dude, you've had an amazing existence in the short time you've been here. And we rode by, and there was a AAA guy, and helping this guy take his stuff out of his trunk so he could get his jack so he could change his tire. And I thought Jim was going to blow his head off his thing. He's like, oh my God, he can't change his own tire.
Yes. You know, I had a similar conversation with out in Dallas. Yeah. My Uber driver was so steamed at this guy because he was standing there blocking a lane of traffic with a flat tire, and my Uber driver goes by him and goes, "You pussy, you don't know how to change a tire." But
even if you don't, if you have a phone, you can find out.
Well, that's the guy was standing there blocking traffic with his phone.
Ugh.
But, and it was a very nice car. But you got to remember, too, it may not be entirely his fault. A lot of cars don't have spares.
Yeah.
Now.
I looked in that Camaro convertible that I was driving last
Right.
week, just in case that I needed to change the tire. I pop up the trunk underneath. There's no spare.
No.
Not even like a little donut spare?
Nothing. No donut, nothing. There was a transistor box there.
Right?
I was like, whoa, I am over my head. It's like, how do I put a transistor box on a
Moving
on a wheel?
Yeah.
It's too square.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to file this down.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Because that's a safety hazard if you can't get out of somewhere. I guess you just...
Yeah, I guess they figure you got a roadside service.
If it's a real emergency, I guess just waste the rim and get where you got to be.
Yeah, no, $1,100 rim.
Oh, yeah.
And a $1,000 tire.
Yeah, sure. Well,
Yeah,
like that Camaro probably had a set of 18s on it. You were probably maybe even 20s. To waste a rim and tire on that, about $1,500.
Yep.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that.
don't want to do that.
Nope.
And anyway, to get back to where we were, I was trusting that gut instinct and all that other stuff. I had a gut instinct thing last Saturday on the Grease Guru show, and I met this dude named Craig who has Pit Crew Tire Service up in Palm Harbor, and this guy is like, I like tires. I like tires and wheels, and I'm just that kind of person, that kind of guy. I like to decorate cars with the right wheels and stuff. And this guy is like a tire and wheel guru. He knows so much. He was like on the government board for when they were coming out with tire pressure monitoring systems for your car. He was a consultant and helped write the manual on, what they were supposed to be composed of. Did you know that your tire pressure monitor has a torque setting?
I don't have a tire pressure monitor. They weren't making that in 1998 when I bought my Toyota.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have anything new enough to have a tire pressure monitor?
No, I got no.
You got like 9 cars though.
They're all classics.
They are. Boy, tonight would be a nice night for that Jeep.
Or the convertible Corvette.
Oh,
I'm just gonna go streaking.
we owe that thing a ride,
Yeah, it needs to get cranked.
Oh, and that's the other thing too. I followed my gut on this one. My friend Chris at Trouble Free Auto Service up in Palm Harbor, really, really great garage. Good guy, honest as the day is long. Wouldn't take from you with a gun to his back. And he had a 1965 Chrysler New Yorker 2-door hardtop. Car's in down condition, but it's all there, and it runs and drives good. And it was his daily driver for a couple of years, okay? And he's a good mechanic, and the car drives good. Several months ago, I quizzed him about it. He's going, yeah, he goes, I want this much for it. And he was trying to sell it. But he wanted too much. So we let it kind of go, and every time I'd stop by the shop, he's done some service for me, and I'd quit. Hey man, you ready to get off that New Yorker yet? He goes, yeah, let me figure something out. Well, anyway, make a long story not so long. We wound up coming to a deal. Some things changed in his life. He's really into skeet shooting out there at the Silver Dollar Ranch, which I understand is a lot of fun, and so he's wanting some play money,
Skeet money.
Yeah, and this 65 New Yorker 2-door hardtop needs work. I mean, it's full paint, needs upholstery work, but it's all trim. There's no real blood and guts work that you got to do. It needs some body work, as a 65 might. But the car drives down the road. It's so amazing. I mean, it just floats down the highway. This thing weighs like 4,500 pounds, and it's quiet. It's got a 413 cubic inch big block Chrysler in it, making 360 horsepower, dual exhaust all the way out the back. It's a turquoise blue, but the paint's all flattened out. It's been sitting out in the sun for years. But you put the key in the ignition, you pump it a couple times, starts up, stalls once or twice, start it up again. Old cars are a pain.
Too much gas.
Yeah, I know. And the carb needs to be overhauled. It's been sitting, And when you run the ethanol gas in those old cars, it just wangs up the computer.
Pastes them up.
The carburetor, not the computer. There's no.
So how much did he want for it?
Well, he wanted 4, and then like I was saying before, the money's on the buy.
Yeah. And
I wound up. We didn't have to quite arm wrestle, but I wound up paying $1,800 for it.
Yeah, cool.
So I'm going to restore the car with my son, Isaac, and we're going to paint it. We're going to do the upholstery. We're going to do the mechanics. We're going to make it look right. We're going to put wheels and tires on it. Probably tint the windows, little custom things here and there, because we have the little company, Angel Wolf and Son Customs. So we're going to customize it, and I'm going to stop around 6,500. And I'm going to take a good hard look at the car and see how it is at that point, because at that point, there's some money left in the car, because the car will be pretty, the car will be together, the car will be a driver. Here's the keys, enjoy yourself, and I think I can sell the car for 75 to 95, right around in there, with the car all done. And I got some hookups too. So if you had to pay retail for what I can get my hookups for, it would, the car would be $12,000.
Right.
So. And I want to, it's something I've done my whole life. I've literally, I was a car buyer for many years.
It's a nice project with your son.
Yeah, spend some time with the boy. We took it up to my mom's and we did all the wet work on it. We pressure washed the engine and the wheel wells and we scrubbed the paint. Got all the dirt and stuff out of the paint and cleaned the windows. Made it look presentable so we can start moving it around. So I'm taking all my comedy money, the money that I make from doing stand-up, and that's my fund for this car.
Huh.
So, and coming up this week, actually, ladies and gentlemen, I'm playing at Side Splitters Comedy Club in Tampa. I start there Thursday night. I'm in the middle spot with a guy named Forrest Shaw. Chris, do you know Forrest Shaw? No? He's supposedly on Jim Hudgens' show.
I don't know him either.
Jim Humphreys. Was it Jim Humphreys?
Jim Jeffries?
Jim Jeffries.
Yeah, I do know him.
Yeah, well, he's a writer for Jim Jeffries' show.
Oh, right on.
So apparently he's going to be pretty funny.
Right on.
Okay. So I'm in the middle with that show, and that's Side Splitters Comedy Club at the corner of Dale Mabry and Fletcher in Tampa. The number there at the club is 813-960-1197,
I'm going to pull it up.
960-1197, I think. Yeah, something like that. I know it's 1197. Anyway, here we go. What is it? Yeah, 813-960-1197.
Yep.
And like I said, I'm there Thursday, not Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There he is. There's Forrest Shaw. Saturday, there is, I believe there's 3 shows, and Saturday's also my birthday.
Happy birthday.
I get to work my sack off on my birthday. And I'm going to do the grease.
In the middle spot?
I'm in the middle. Well, that's
Work
true,
your
man.
sack off.
That's the truth, yeah. And
Coast the whole show.
yeah, last time I did Side Splitters over there and I was in the middle, they Rooftop Comedy picked up some of my bits. And I got a couple of checks and stuff like that. They used them for something. So, and I got some new bits, so I'm gonna tug on their coat and let them know that I'm there. So
Cool.
And Bobby over at Side Splitters, good guy, love him, many, many years. But I get like no promotion out of this. So I'm not even on the website as the feature act. It's like that'd be trouble or something. But anyway, I'm working for fun.
It's like Panama Reds back in town. We don't need to book them.
Yeah, and I play, and that's the other thing too. I play, freestyle all over the area, and nobody tells me where I can or can't play. So
I know. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yeah,
Yeah, it did.
well,
It's annoying. No, that they tell other people.
I'm
and
above the politics.
I get. Well, I am too. I suppose. I haven't worked Side Splitters. I mean, I used to, but I don't know. I think I freaked him out with my improv troupe. I really.
Well, your improv troupe was scary.
No, but they're like, well, it can't be both. It's like, yeah, I can. Yes, I can be both.
Sure, and I juggle.
Right.
But the mime was a little over the top.
Yeah. Well,
They saw him and it was all over.
it's all about the quality. We want to have everybody have equal voice in the arts.
Yeah. That's one thing that I'm when I see a truly funny improv troupe, man, it's what a treat, because that is the hardest style of comedy you can do. And I think and I don't know why I do know why it's not more wildly popular.
It's hit or miss. That's why.
It's real hit and miss. And when it's bad, it's really bad.
Yeah, it really is.
That's why they won't serve food.
We had a pretty good troupe, but yeah, I mean, here's the thing about it. We had a great bunch of people, so if somebody was having an off night, there was always somebody else in the group to pick it up and shine through. I think we had some pretty solid shows and pretty consistent, but yeah, you're right. There were some nights where nothing was working, and it was just ugh, I want to shoot myself right now.
Brad was so funny.
Yeah, Brad Gilmore. Yeah, dude,
funny,
he really
funny man.
Committed to everything.
Oh my! And he just has that. He's a natural comedian. I mean, just him walking down the street is almost funny. And it's like like a camera crew could jump out on the bushes at any point in his day, and just start quizzing them.
Which is interesting to see him command a stage as a trumpet player and a lead vocalist in a band was like blew me away. I was like, wow, dude, you're a really powerful performer. He really is.
He is. He's a great. We love him a lot.
Yep.
We'll have to have him on. He's entertaining.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd love to come out.
Hey.
We play his music. So,
Yeah. Oh, that's true. And the music that you hear on the break, that's one of his bands or
Two.
the band?
Two. Weak Sauce and Rise of Saturn. He has a third band called the Saganaki Bomb Squad. They're a ska. They do ska punk.
Saganaki Bomb Squad?
Yep.
As opposed to the Nagasaki bomb squad.
Yeah. Saganaki. Like
Saganaki.
Saki. But yeah, he's right. It's a play on Nagasaki. Bomb Squad. Yeah. But they're fun. They're a ska punk band. A lot of fun.
Ska punk.
Ska punk.
Yeah. Gotta love that.
It's like 2 hours of uncha, 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 uncha.
Ah, man, that's one way to stay young. Keep pogoing. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Loutopia podcast. I'm Lou Angel Wolf. There's Mike Merberg. Chris Gorgeous. I'm Mike number 3. Beth Snyder sitting it out this week. We miss you. We love you, honey. The show is being simulcast this week on the IRN Broadcast Network. That's IRN Broadcast, our pals over there. We just love the attention that they pay the Loutopia show and the Grease Guru show.
Yeah, Ronan the engineer, has been chiming in on the shows.
Has he? Okay.
Yeah, said we are the smartest monkeys. Last
we
break.
are the smartest monkeys.
Yeah, that should be a T-shirt.
Bonobo, please. we like bonobo. We prefer bonobo.
I like Bonomo Turkish taffy.
Bonobo eating bonomo is a tough one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a little primal noise you do.
Yeah. It's how I used to get my fillings out, is bonobo Turkish taffy. I want to go to the dentist. Drill me, Mom. Drill me.
Yeah. Oh.
It's the only attention I get.
Oh man. I started watching this Mind. It's on the Netflix.
Mind Freak?
No, not Mind Freak. That's that magician dude. He's wild. That Chris guy.
It's freaky.
This is called Mind something. And it's about the insight of serial killers.
Oh, yeah.
Not what's it
Mind
called?
of a serial killer?
Mind Hunter. Mind Hunter. Yes,
Mind
yes.
Hunter.
Thank you.
Well, if he finds mine, let him let me know. I've been looking for mine for a while.
Very, very interesting stuff, and kind of like a little psycho thriller thing, and then of course, Pamela and I got hooked on. We're binge watching Boardwalk Empire, which I missed while it was when it came out. I was just in a non-TV mode, but that Steve Buscemi, man, what an act! Oh,
brilliant.
Literally, I would watch the guy clean out a refrigerator. The guy's so talented.
Yeah, he was excellent on The Sopranos, and just off the charts good.
And really, for a guy, that was always like, third or fourth in line, this series completely exemplifies and amplifies this guy's talent. He's the center of the whole thing. With an incredible cast, same casting people that did The Sopranos, and a lot of the shows were Tim Van Patten. Just amazing talent. And but the Boardwalk Empire, oh yeah, that was during Prohibition, Atlantic City, 1920.
Yep. Where Al Capone got his start.
Al Capone, Lucky Luciano, all those guys. Very, very harsh environment.
Yep. Well, it's post-World War I, too. You got to realize that the guys came back, and they saw a lot of violence over there in the trenches. And
yes.
Life was cheap, and they came back here, and life was still cheap to them.
Yes.
And that they just never stopped.
Yeah.
And once again, that's the consequence of war.
Yes.
And that we're still having here today in this country, the consequence of many, many years of war, and we have the problems we're having here between left and right, conservative, liberal. It's created all kinds of problems.
Yes.
So that's what war does.
Well, like you say all the time, Michael, every war can be avoided. Okay. but consequently, when greed comes off the top rope with a sharp elbow, it's what conquers for a while.
What a lot of people don't realize is that eventually, in any war, in order to stop it, both sides have to come to the table.
Yes.
So it's much easier just to come to the table to begin with and forget the war part, and let's start discussing things and have a drink and a meal and recognize ourselves in each other.
For as smart as we are, for as intelligent as mankind is, we're pretty damn impressive, I got to say. In avenues, we're pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, not bad for primates.
Yeah, I mean, really. I mean, monkeys on steroids.
Yeah.
But the fact that we can't get the right people with the right vibrations to align in a, just in a neutral energy field. We can't even get them to go there and start thinking from there. There's so much pride, so much ego, so much greed, so much. It's just all the stuff that makes man bad.
Well, that's why the CE5 work, excuse me, that a lot of us are doing is so important. Because once you recognize that they're far superior beings, doing things that we would, have called unimaginable just a couple of years ago.
Yes.
And then you recognize the reality that they exist and that they communicate with us and can communicate with us. And it's within reach of any human being who puts himself in a spiritually correct place.
Yes.
To reach out and get to that next level. So it's all there.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, and there's people becoming more and more enlightened every day.
Mm-hmm.
I think as you study this world, and that's the thing. The thing that started this whole thing was the pacifist riot, which is a piece that I wrote a few years ago. It's on the Loutopia podcast, LOUTOPIA.com, Loutopia.com. If you go there it is right on the screen. Go on in there, and there's the pacifist riot. I believe your edited version, Michael.
Oh,
thank you. And it's our little mellow-festo. It's asking you as a loving human being just to reach inside yourself and just release a little bit of your love in an anonymous way. You don't have to direct it. You can direct it. There's no real rules to it. But just sending out good, peaceful vibrations to hurting people. People who believed a lot of lies about themselves, about the world, about their leaders. And just the loving, caring innocence, the childlike innocence, the stuff that we came here with, to resort to that.
Yeah, well, the Tao teaches be like a child for
Yes.
for a number of reasons. But what I might want to, somebody might find interesting is, this is not the first time in the history of man that mankind or a race of mankind has faced massive control by leadership.
Yes.
Back when Lao Tzu was still alive 2,700 to 2,500 years ago, the Chinese had been warring, and the philosophy among the Chinese for 2,000 years had been for the leaders to control and hold themselves up above the common people. They ate better, they surrounded themselves with armies and riches, and they tried to control everybody. And at the time that Lao Tzu came along, he changed the political paradigm, saying, look, you don't have to control. You can actually trust people to do what's in their own best interests.
Mm-hmm.
And and he changed the political paradigm that had existed over 2,000 years to a new political paradigm in China from which Confucius arose.
Mm-hmm.
And Confucius influenced the social order in China so that people were kind. There was a hierarchy of values where, mother, father, children, grandparents all had values.
Yes.
It was a lot more formal. I mean, Confucius was the one that eliminated knives from the table and gave us our modern, chopsticks and Chinese food. Mm-hmm. And for almost 1,500 years, that sort of philosophy that trusts the people to know what's in their own best interest and they can gather together and do what they have to do, and they thrive under peace as opposed under war.
Yes.
Lao Tzu said, wherever armies tread, only thistles grow. So this lasted until about the time of Marco Polo and the discovery of the West of the Orient. And then there became the political breakdown where Western intelligence and the mind, which thought it governed everything in rational thought, went up against the teachings of Tao and the heartfelt, reality, knowing or going with your gut.
Yes.
And then things changed over time, and we got, eventually the horrible, Chinese, the communist revolution in the world. But needless to say, after 2,000 more years, we're again at the threshold of a new political paradigm where at some point in time our leaders were going to recognize that you, like Bill Clinton said, is you cannot conquer the world and have a boot on everybody else's neck and a gun to their head.
Yes.
They actually have, you have to talk peace and you have to trust each other.
Yes.
And I think maybe we're getting there.
Wow. From your lips to God's ears.
Well, the ETs seem to like it.
Yes, absolutely. Well, that's their way. That's the higher vibration that we can all aspire to.
Right.
It's within your reach. It's within my reach. And that's what we ask on the show is just take a little bit of that and give it away. Just spend a couple of minutes by yourself and just say, hey, I'm sending out a prayer. I'm sending out love. I'm sending out a healing vibration to someone who needs it. I don't know where they are, but I have this love inside of me. It's one of the elemental things of all things. But the love that you have inside of you, you let it go and just let it go randomly, or you can direct it. If you know somebody that needs the help, please, send it their way. The universe will find its way there. So you don't have to fret. I mean, your prayers will be answered. And the other thing is too, physically, when you fill yourself with that kind of love and forgiveness and caring, you become healthier. You're more mentally fit. You feel better. Your heart is better. You shine on people more, and that's what the world needs is nice, loving encouragement.
Well, some of my teachers teach that it's known as a Dao Quan.
A Dao Quan.
And what it is, it's a shrine. And it starts in your house, or it could be your garden. It could be someplace that you build a shrine to the universal energy source. Some people call it God, whatever you want to call it, but it's that energy which is divine and unites us all. And you build your little shrine to that, and then you make your life orderly around it.
Yes.
And that is symbolic of centering yourself. So as long as you keep yourself centered, and have that little shrine, and I've seen it in many households, in the Greek households, and the Orthodox, there'll be a shrine, and this is pan-cultural.
Okay.
So once you have created that little shrine, then your life develops in a centered and orderly fashion outside of it and around it.
Yes.
So, and you can actually spread that and teach other people how to do it. And it's very simple, and that's how you become centered in a very, very easy sort of way. Maybe that'll help people.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, that's some beautiful, beautiful images and ideas. Those are great things. And I do have a little shrine in my house. I have in the condo, there's a little wet bar.
Yeah.
And I have my coffee maker there, and there is like a little glass wall, and your pottery is up there, proudly displayed, and pictures of children, and everybody smiling, and it's a little, and I have a Merkaba right in the middle of it, or Merkaba, and it's just it's our little shrine at our house, me and Pam, and it's lovely, and there is a wonderful little energy there. Because that's where I get my coffee in the morning. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to the Loutopia podcast, and thank you so much. Mike Merberg's over here. He's going to say goodnight.
Good night.
And Chris Gorgeous, he's...
I'll be here even after you guys end.
He's got a daytime job. He's doing all right.
All
right. Beth, we missed you, dear. We love you. Wonderful vibrations out to you. My buddy Gary Wilson, thank you for sending me cool new music. Double Knot Spy Car. Double Knot Spy Car. Wow. Fabulous stuff. LA band. Cool shit. And ask me, I know cool shit. So anyway, and my buddy Spanky. Spanky's birthday's coming up next week. I love that guy. He's just a He's funny 15 seconds after he wakes up in the morning. Just a great dude. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the Loutopia podcast. We'll be back. What do you want to do about the Halloween thing?
Wear masks. You
Yeah.
can come in here.
I got a kid, so
So you're out?
as long as they were done by dark, I got to get him out into the other neighborhood over there.
Okay. Well,
It's up to you.
let's
show
all
back.
get back together on the 7th. Let's
All
get
right.
back together on the 7th. Okay?
7th it is.
November 7th, ladies and gentlemen, is your next Loutopia podcast. Thank you, Michael, Peter, for taking care of us on the IRN broadcast. It's on YouTube. It's on Facebook. It's on Podomatic. Lord, oh, Lord. We got them out there. Thank you so much. Many blessings.